first believe you have a value to give. It's not about that agreement.
I love that.
It's not about that document. A lot of pharmacists are still unsure that they're valuable because, especially in the community setting, we've let the profession divide pharmacists to say who's cool and who's not, or you're clinical, you're not. So I'm learning that there are a lot of pharmacists say, well, but I'm not clinical. And I said, how did you get through pharmacy school without any clinical content? It's impossible. And they go, well, you have a point. I said, who made you believe that? That is the fundamental, that's a problem. Right. Because no one just told you, here is Tylenol, without you knowing clinically who can get it, who cannot get it, what are the dosing. So why did we take that out of like it's not? So that's the number one, that pharmacists have to rebuild their knowledge, but also remind themselves they are clinical. Our settings could be different. Mm-hmm. So if my setting is community, so I have different access points, I have advantages and I have disadvantages. The pharmacists in the hospital could say they're clinical, but they have advantages and disadvantages. They don't know where these patients live. They don't see them after the patient leaves the hospital. They don't know that what else is happening. So we need all of us together to manage the patient. So if we can start working on, before collaborating with another profession, we need to collaborate within the pharmacy space, right? If I'm a pharmacist in the hospital setting, I should know who my community partners are and lean on them to help me with the patients, right? So that's number one, that I feel like we need to get our pharmacists believing in themselves again, rewiring that lie that the story they told themselves is not true. They are clinical. They're very valuable. They just have to know what is their value. Then take that value, package it. People don't buy products. These providers are looking for solutions. So then you need to understand their world, right? Yeah. You have to understand their world, because you can't sell the same solution to everyone. So if that provider doesn't have that problem, you just lost them because you didn't take the time to know more about them. Right. So I listen more than I talk to these providers. When I go in, I want to hear their pain points because I know they have them, and so then they'll get to that, the patients with diabetes. I'm getting dinged on those patients because I'm part of this clinically integrated network and I have to perform at this level, and I'm not winning with this patient subset. Or hospitalizations, whatever it is they need, you can then figure out what services you offer that can solve that.
I love that you're almost offended when you hear I'm not clinical. I love it, almost like your reaction is like, no, absolutely not. You are.
And even to a degree that happens starting out in pharmacy school. Like, you have pharmacy school saying, all right, well, 75% of you are going to go practice in the community. We're going to talk about residencies. We're going to talk about hospital. We're going to talk about, and even in the hospital, you have your basement pharmacist and your floor clinical. It's like this natural hierarchies of things that it's weird. And, even like I came out of the renal specialty background. It didn't mean I had any more training. It means I deal with the same 10 drugs over and over again, and I see them all the time. And so it's really smart to say, you're right. I have a PharmD just like every other pharmacist on the planet.
Yeah. We just have to say where our setting is and what we can do with that setting.